did. Other things to do with HR, I think that also the photo for my ID was lost as well, so I think that delayed getting my badge, which made it difficult to get into the hospital. So that was a bit annoying at the start. Yeah.
So what do you think could be done for the future to make it better?
I think the issue was that the person I initially spoke to was leaving his post, and so he hadn't kind of passed over the workload, or he hadn't communicated what happened, what I'd filled in with the other members of staff. So I think there needs to be there maybe needs to be better communication or better kind of handling of data. I think I'm still not sure what happened to the forms I filled in. So yeah.
So what's the solution from your own view?
I think better organisation, communication within that department. I think there needs to be. Things get lost when things aren't organised, I suppose. And if someone's leaving or is away on leave, there needs to be better communication so that the information that's been collected and kept somewhere is passed on to another person who can then follow up with the employees.
Okay, thank you. We want to talk about induction now. Please tell me about the process by which you were inducted to the job.
Oh, that was very good, very thorough. And we did a general NHS induction for all staff that were recruited at Springfield. And that kind of touched on all the main areas, all kinds of things, basic health and safety to information governance, lots of different aspects. And then we did a week-long, was it more than that? It was quite, very kind of thorough lots of sessions of different sorts of trainings. Kylie's came in one day, then we had one on employment, and then we had, we were really immersed in the sorts of responsibilities that we would have. And I think, crucially, we were making contacts and feeling as though we knew where to go for, as part of our signposting role. We knew exactly where we would go, and we had seen a face and met the person of each individual who was going to follow on with these various kind of aspects of individuals' recovery. I think that's really key as well, because you know an organisation just by looking them up online, but to meet someone and to understand the process of what really happens after you just do the referral is important. And so it's not just a referral and then they're forgotten about. It's a referral and then you can give someone a call and you've met them and you know them and you can follow up on a certain individual. So I think just meeting people and really hearing from them, Yeah.
Thank you. So I'll go here. Sorry if I have to repeat some questions. It says, what was particularly good about it?
Okay.
I got that one.
Yeah.
Secondly, are there any changes? Because I need to go.
Okay.
Okay, child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So secondly, in the first place, what was particularly good about it? Mm-hmm. And secondly, in what ways did it prepare you for the execution of your role? Keep going.
For the education of my
to execute your role.
Okay,
yeah.
So I think with the induction, I was particularly taken aback by how informative it was in terms of which individuals to contact for which referrals. We were given email addresses, we were given their location. It feels very much that once we had that induction and once we had met those people, going on from there, once we were in our surgeries and our practices, we could then have the autonomy to organise our own meetups. And I think Kurt was very clear about that in terms of going out ourselves to do lots more kind of face-to-face interviews with people that we thought would be useful to our service, doing our own research basically, in kind of identifying various community organisations, charities, and others that maybe hadn't been mentioned in the induction. We felt very much empowered, I think, both myself and the other Primary Care Plus workers.
Thank you. Are there any changes to this process that might have been more effective at helping you get up to speed?
I mean, it was very much, we were given a lot of information. I remember a lot of, we were given the PowerPoint presentations that were done, we were given the handouts, we were given lots and lots of leaflets and diagrams, and I composed a large folder of information, and I don't think I could possibly have taken any more on. And I still, even now, have to look back at the folder and remind myself about, of what was taught. So I don't think there could have been any more information at all, but in terms of practical, actually going out and doing it, I think that only came once we'd started. And I think, it wasn't just that we had training and then we went straight into the job without any support. We were continuously supported in going to meetings, like I said, the voluntary sector forum, the mental health providers forum, presenting our service to others, and networking. And I think that's all part of it, a part of learning and equipping us for the role. So we were kind of supported to do that even up until now.
So, what processes currently support your ability to discharge your role now? What processes are in place
to discharge?
That is supporting you to discharge your role?
What do you mean, discharge my role?
For you to be able to do your job, basically.
Oh, okay.
What processes are in place? Yeah.
I mean, from a practical point of view, I'm in close links with every other team member. I can email them, call them whenever I have a query. For example, I gave Kurt a call today, discussed a meeting that was to be had in one of the CMHTs. So if I have a query about whether or not what I'm doing is actually fits the job role, because that is something that we're still developing, what we really should be or shouldn't be doing as Primary Care Plus team members, we're still kind of adapting to what is best for this service. So yes, I think it's important to have ongoing kind of supervision, which I do. Monday team meetings every Monday, where we discuss clinical cases and general issues at the GP surgeries, but also just having other team members on hand just to ask these questions and just to kind of discuss what would be best and whether to try. So yeah, it's all trial and error, but I mean with support from the rest of the team, always.
Okay. What about what system is in place now and the process in place for you to support you in this the requirement for you to see clients within 2 weeks of discharge?
That is still something that we're trying to work on, and it's still not perfect because we had meetings at all the GP surgeries at the start of implementing this service. I've had another meeting now, 7 months on at Brocklebank, and I mean, it's still not perfect. I've been making all the GPs aware at all the surgeries to inform me if they get discharge summaries, which they sometimes do, sometimes don't, as well as admin. So it's kind of reinforcing that. Some GPs are still unaware of our roles because there's so many to even try and disseminate the information to. It sometimes just doesn't get round to everyone because we're only there maybe once a week. But also with the CMHTs, and I think Kurt's working on that at the moment with a couple of people from the Trust who are going to try and send weekly kind of summaries of the patients being discharged. So we are aware and we don't miss a single one, because at the moment I would say there are people being missed just because we're not being made, either the letters aren't being sent from the CMHTs in a timely fashion, so they're not being sent when the discharge meeting happens, or they are being sent and admin is receiving them at the GPs, but admin don't necessarily know to send them to us, or the GP